Okay, now Madison's putting his hair up again.
Yes, because side wind does not work. I mean, we just learned a second ago that when it's hitting you, it looks cool. When it's going against, like immediately, like from behind you, it looks cool. When it's coming from the side, it does not look cool. It looks silly.
That's the wind rule.
There's a wind. That's the wind rule.
The rule of the wind.
I think we just made up a rule. That's okay. I'm cool with making up rules. Are you?
I mean, I'm not normally inclined to making rules, but you know.
Cool.
Do you want to hold it now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Transfer of powers.
Yes. And now it feels really awkward.
One thing that Madison
There we
was telling
go.
me earlier that I'm not super aware of as far as men who have long hair is that they always must keep a hair tie on them at all times.
It helps.
I mean, I kind of do that as a girl because I don't like having my hair in my face sometimes. Or like, I don't anticipate that I'm going to want to have my hair out of my face.
Right. Well, I thought for sure it was a girl thing too. Like, because
Yeah.
I see girls all the time with like hair ties, but they usually have it on their wrist, like a wristband.
Okay, yeah. But you don't do that?
No, I carry them in my pocket, and I'm
Okay.
starting to think, yeah, either one, pretty well the same amount of sanitary, wouldn't you say? Skin, pocket,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. I don't
Do you,
know.
do you ever not have one and then you're regretting it?
Yeah, that's happened like
Okay.
once or twice, and now I've just learned my lesson.
Okay.
But I'm happy that
Do
lesson.
you ever forget it then? No? Or never? Never forget
Not
it?
recently, but I'm sure I'm sure I have some days where I'm just like, where I feel like
Yeah.
I've remembered everything, and then I'm just like, ha, nailed it, and then it's like, ah!
No. I also like how you do the ponytail instead of the man bun. Do you
Yeah.
ever do man buns? I can't think of.
I do man buns.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I do
Can't
them very
remember.
rarely. Like, they're kind of going out of style now, so it's like, now I just
They
kind of.
are?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
You're younger than me, so you probably know that.
Yeah. Ish.
I just barely got into them because I have a really good girlfriend was like last year she was like, I love guys with long hair. I just love it. Man bun, whatever. I love it. And now I love it because she said she loved it. Actually, I've always been cool with people of all different lengths of hair. Like
Right.
I would date anyone no matter what. I don't really care either way. I don't care
Right.
beard, no beard, either way. Like I don't really have a preference. But
It's not like a rule breaker for you.
I wasn't like looking for guys with long hair, but after she said that I was like, she's right. She's so right about the long hair.
I enjoy it, and I just like how
Yeah.
versatile it is. Like, you can pull it back, you can do man bun, you can go high, you can go low, you can let it flow.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You can part it down the middle, you can part it down the side.
You can
make
have
it,
a fro.
You can have a fro. I need to try and perm this now. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine like a blonde fro. That would be so awesome.
You can have it on the go. I'm just trying to rhyme.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that.
Okay.
I was like, she was totally trying to rhyme right there.
I was like, I think he got it, but maybe he didn't.
Ish.
Yeah, I mean, guys need options too. Like, the idea
Totally.
that guys like don't care about aesthetics or like have no, like expression. I think there's some guys that are more inclined like that, but there's a lot of guys that are more artistic and more. They're actually good with aesthetic expression,
Mm-hmm.
and so why shouldn't they have options? It's like with suits and ties. It's like there are a lot more options than you think, but a lot of guys just stick with like the black suit and like a regular tie. But there's actually like tons of colors,
Totally.
or should be.
Yeah. No, my buddy Riley has a white suit. Sometimes he'll wear it on
Really?
stage. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Riley
That's
McDonald,
great.
Advent Horizon. They're so cool.
Look him up.
Yeah, look them up.
Oh,
They're
it's a
awesome.
band.
It's a full band, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Advent
yeah.
Horizon. Yeah.
That's cool.
They're way cool. They now have like a side band called Shuffle. I don't know if they'd be considered a side band, just another name for their band.
Okay.
Called
They do
Shuffle.
like a different style of music.
Yes, exactly. They
What are
do
the two styles?
well. Advent Horizon is more their own music, so like
Okay.
they do a lot less covers and more their stuff, and it's more progressive rock like Rush and stuff like that. And then with Shuffle, it's more like the covers that everyone likes, like Play That Funky Music White Boy. I didn't think they could pull off that funky music White Boy as a progressive rock band, but they nail it, and I'm just like, ah!
Nice.
Yeah, they're so cool.
Okay,
They're
cool.
so cool, Belinda.
That's wow.
I know.
That's awesome. They're cool. I believe you.
Thank you. I'm glad you believe me. I like to think I'm a believable person.
Yeah.
So the other day I actually met this girl, really cool, and she does this thing called body code.
Okay.
You ever heard of that?
I don't think so. Maybe.
It's really cool. So, well, basically the concept is like if you're having pains or something like that, or issues in your body
Yeah.
that doctors haven't really been able to help, there's this thing called body code that other people can do to help you, where it's like energy, like really negative energy can be like bottled up in that area. And
oh
they
my
just
gosh, I'm so into this kind of stuff.
I know you are, which is
Keep
why I brought it
going,
up.
keep
Like
going,
you've got
keep
to know
going.
this. It's so cool. So it gets bottled up, and then they just kind of unplug that area. They release that energy for you, so
Okay.
that you don't feel that pain anymore. And there have been many times where I'd go and see. Well, not her, but my chiropractor does it too. But I've seen him, and like he'll do it for my knee or something where I'm feeling pain, and it'll just like I'll go home and I'll start doing squats, and pain will be gone.
Wait,
It's so interesting.
the squats make the pain go away?
No, I'm doing it. The
So that
body.
you can't.
Yeah, that's right.
So what do you do exactly?
So they pretty well ask your body questions, and they use this thing called kinesiology.
Okay,
Like
I've
it's like
done-
the muscle testing deal.
Okay, I've done a session of that with my friend's father, who
Mhm.
does holistic kind of medicine stuff,
Right.
and he did kinesthesiology testing. Kinesthesiology.
It's kinesiology.
Kinesiology. Oh, okay, I think I might say it wrong sometimes.
That's okay.
Kinesiology
Yes.
tests on my body to see what like supplements and vitamins I need. I've done that, but I
Right.
haven't done like a healing thing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I actually
Okay.
I learned from this girl that I met recently. She does it too, and I just felt a stronger connection with her. So I was like, I'm gonna give this girl a try, and she was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. And I found out that I have like this heart wall.
Okay.
And it's like, she told me that it was like 9 feet thick, and during that session we were able to bring it down to like 6 feet.
Metaphysically speaking.
Yes, metaphysically speaking.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, you can't see like a 9-foot wall coming out of my chest. Or
Not right now, anyway.
Not right now, exactly. You may be
Okay.
able to see the energy later of a 9-foot wall.
Did she mean exactly 9 feet, or does she mean like a big wall?
Exactly 9 feet. Like she was actually able to test how big this wall was and how much further we have to go until it's like gone.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
That
it's-
gives you something to measure and gives you something to shoot for.
right, exactly. So
Okay.
it's really cool, and I felt the difference immediately. Like, yeah, it was cool.
So does she put her hands on you, or does she put her hands above you? Because I've done it where they put their hand. I did actually an energy chakra kind of session where they hover their hands like over my body, but they never touch it.
It was actually more like, so she just kind of read my body and like would ask it questions, and she would do this thing where she would keep her fingers together like this, but she would lock them like with her other hand, and
Okay.
she explains it like holding a butterfly by the wing, and like she tries to pull them apart, and when she can pull it apart, it means that your body isn't saying that. It's like that's not the truth. And when they stay strong, that's what it's saying. Like,
That's the
yes,
truth.
that's it, yes. Right, so she even did an example. She was like, my name is, and then she said her name, and it locked, and then she said a different name from hers, and it broke apart. So, yeah, really cool.
It's like that's just a simple test
Yeah,
to show. I mean, it's not like we're not talking about like universal truth, like truths of the universe. We're talking about like just what is true and what's not true, like basic
right.
things that your body knows the answers to, not just your conscious brain. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but
It sounds good enough. I think people
Yeah.
got the gist. I got the gist anyway. If you didn't get the gist, you can just comment.
so then that's how she answers all those questions, is through that.
Yeah.
And then how does she heal you?
She heals me by asking the energy to go away, and she has a magnet that goes from the crown of your head and goes down your back, and that pretty well just like wipes away that energy.
Oh, okay.
So she
Okay.
she communicates to that energy, and she's also religious, so she does similar repair, but she asks God to take it and let it leave, and help my body let it leave. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
she has her own deal that she says, but it's really
yeah,
cool.
you can get people that have all different approaches to life, like some that are religious and some that aren't religious that do energy work. Like
Right.
I mean, even
My arm's getting
believing in
tired.
God isn't. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking your arm's probably tired. Here,
Yeah,
I'll
totally.
hold it.
I'm proud of the fact
Can
that
you
I
hold the
made it.
mic?
Yes, I can. I'm proud of the fact that I made it 9. Is that 9 minutes?
Yeah, 10
I'm-
minutes of holding.
Darn near 10 minutes of just.
This is gonna be like our arm workout for the week until we get
Totally.
an actual real selfie stick,
Mhm.
which I actually have one, but for some reason I didn't even think about it.
Right. Well, and like when you were talking about it, I was going, that's actually a great idea. Like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
we think of a selfie stick by until this
I
point?
don't
but
know.
That's okay.
Because we're new at this. We're new YouTubers.
We are, and I feel like the
So-
way I'm holding this would be like blocking what you're saying too. So
Oh.
now I'm holding it correctly.
Oh, okay. Look, I guess we'll see when we watch it. It's hard to say how things are going to sound. I don't know how the wind is going to affect it. It might be fine. But
It might sound
windy.
cool. Like it'll be. You
Yeah.
can hear us talking and be like.
Like a music video.
Yeah.
Although I
music
think
video.
on these little mics it probably just sounds like like staticky.
Like it's exploding.
Like bad, yeah. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
And also you can see the mountains now.
Yeah, you can. They're beautiful. I think it's so cool that you can see like a little bit of snow along the top, and it's like turning green near the bottom. I love
Yeah,
that.
'cause it's May and spring has officially hit. Most of the trees are green now, but a lot of them are holding out a little bit longer. They don't want to go with the crowd.
Right.
They're like a little bit rebellious. Like I just had this like vision a few weeks ago. I was like, I don't mean like real vision. I just mean I had this creative thought, which some would say is not very different from a vision, or not at all different from a vision. But anyways, I'm not saying
Now
that
we're
this
getting
is-
philosophical.
I'm not saying that this is a spiritual thing. I'm just saying I had this funny thought where all the trees like gathered together and they're like, okay guys, it's spring, like let's start like blooming now, okay? And some of them are like, no, like we're not ready, like why are you rushing into things? And like they're all discussing it, and some of them are like, no, I'm blooming, I'm doing whatever I want, screw you guys. And they just start turning green. Some of them are like, I'm hanging back, man.
I'm not ready for that kind of commitment.
Yeah, no need to rush through life, take your time. And then some of them are like, well, I'll start now, but I'll move along a little bit more slowly. I don't know, it's a weird thought.
I can see that though. Like their roots are in the earth, so they like can communicate through the earth, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
just
I
like
was
this
just picturing
telepathic
like a bonfire gathering, like something.
Of trees.
Like somehow they all just like meet together. It doesn't make any sense. They could never do that
Right.
in real life, but somehow they all like, maybe in the middle of the night their spirits all meet around the bonfire and they can actually like talk about things.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you're like hiking and you see this bonfire and you're like thinking you're gonna run into some people and you just see a bunch of spirit trees around
Like
this
gathered,
fire.
and they're all like, some of them are old and wise, and they're like, you young ones, you're just jumping into things, take your time, you know. And then there's the young ones who are like, we want to bloom right now, it's spring. I don't know.
That's right. And then when they come walking, the people come walking up, they're like, you're interrupting something very important. You're like, sorry,
The meeting of the trees.
I didn't
Like,
know
oh.
Ents still existed. That was
Yeah.
supposed to be in Lord of the Rings. You're supposed to be fictional.
They're like, oh man, I didn't know I was in the middle of something. I was just taking my dog for a walk, sorry.
Right, for sure. I was just getting my daily, exercise, and
How did you last 10 minutes?
You
My
are.
arm is already tired.
I don't know. Like
Now I feel super wimpy.
I was feeling a super like my arm was
Jesus.
like feeling the burn when I was.
Oh,
by
really?
the yeah, I was burning by the time I hit 9
How
minutes. I
long
was
was
like,
it burning for?
for like I don't know. I'd say probably a good solid 2 minutes, but at that
Oh, okay, that's not too bad, but
I lift, bro. So
you like that kind of pain.
kind of.
I have this unfortunate thing where I try to avoid that kind of pain rather than seeking it out. But it has benefits. That's why people do it.
Right, for sure.
So,
I can do my left arm now since you've held it with both of your arms.
I feel like I'm contributing so little. Look at a selfie next time. Oh, yeah. Look at a selfie next time and make this easier on everybody.
A selfie stick?
Selfie,
Or a selfie?
stick.
Because selfies make everything easier.
Yeah,
Click.
you
have all the strength in the world.
You would think selfies solved all of our problems with how often people take them.
Oh my
but
gosh,
no.
seriously.
There was like a vacation I went on. Speaking of selfie sticks, in like 3 years ago now, I got a chance to just kind of like travel. I got all these free flights, so I went to New York City, and I went to like, I mostly remember this at the 9/11 monument, which was like really sacred experience, by the way. But anyways, like pictures I was getting there of the monument, there was like, I went and looked at them that night, and there was like a million selfie sticks in my pictures. Like every picture I had, there was like a selfie stick like stuck behind me, like out like this, like in front of the monument. I was like, oh my gosh, like
You're ruining this moment.
yeah.
There's a selfie stick here, and I'm trying to be serious.
So
and it's like,
Yeah,
there it
any
is.
tourism spots you go to, like during the like busy seasons, you're gonna have like a bunch of selfie sticks on all your pictures. So, I mean, it wasn't just there. Like it was fun places too. There was selfie sticks in the pictures.
Right. Like Where else did you go? I was gonna give
Um,
examples, but then I was like, maybe she wasn't there.
Well, I went to a lot of the normal places. I went to like Rockefeller
Oh, cool.
Center Plaza.
I think that sounds right.
I went and saw Stephen Colbert his first week on air, like very first week.
I don't know who that is.
Stephen Colbert.
I don't know who
Oh
Stephen
my gosh!
Colbert is.
What?
No.
He took over for Letterman.
Oh.
He did the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Oh.
I don't
At
watch a lot
all?
of I don't watch a lot of TV.
I don't watch any TV, but I
Then
know
how do
these
you know
things
about
very
these
well. I don't know because I guess.
You're just so in Belinda.
I really don't watch TV, and I don't know if these things are necessarily cool, but they're, it's like Stephen Colbert and the Daily Show and Jon Stewart are like, like super liberal, like fake news. But they started out as more just being jokey fake news and just going and like pranking people and making them think that they're real reporters, and they would just ask ridiculous questions and try to catch people in their words and stuff. And then I maybe early on it was super liberal, but as time went on, it became obvious that it was just like totally like liberal end of things. But I'm very liberal in a lot of my views, so I like it. But they're just really funny.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm surprised you don't know about it, but.
I think it's just more of a political thing. I'm just not a political person.
Oh, okay.
Like at all.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Steve Colbert did that for like so many years. He like ended up having his own show, and then Letterman quit, and then he took over Letterman.
Okay.
So
I
do you know Dave Letterman is?
I know who Letterman is.
Okay.
Yes. There's one name I've heard
I think
of.
Colbert hasn't. It's interesting. He hasn't maybe picked up. I don't really know what his popularity levels are. I know Jimmy Fallon is like through the roof. You know about Jimmy Fallon?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Jimmy Fallon's awesome.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
Jimmy.
He's so likable. He's so
He is.
relatable. I think with Stephen Colbert, it's hard because he is more. I think the problem is he's more of an intellectual interviewer, and he should probably be doing more serious interviews that are like with, prominent people in the world, not just like celebrities, but like talking to them about real issues and real things. And his show from the Daily Show was so like opinionated that it's like Letterman was like the kind of the liberal, and Leno was like the the conservative. But Letterman was like, he didn't really make it that much of a part of his show was mostly about just being fun and making fun of people. It wasn't as much about politics, where I feel like Stephen Colbert is like very like extreme and opinionated. So I think that makes it hard for a lot of people to relate to it. Anyways, is your arm tired again?
No, I'm sorry if I just gave you a weird look, because like I was about to sneeze and it was coming, and I was just
Oh,
like,
really? Oh, no, let it out.
I
Don't
wanted
hold
it to.
in.
I was like sitting there kind of looking away for a moment, and then I was like, nope, it's not coming. And then my eyes started to tear, and I was like, it's still not coming.
Is your arm tired yet, though?
Oh yeah, definitely, but that's okay. I'm kind of like at competition with myself now, like how long can my left arm last versus
my
my
gosh.
right arm. But I don't know.
Oh, because it's your left. Oh, maybe that was my problem, because I was holding it with left. Maybe I'll try my right now.
You did both.
Unless you want to keep the competition going.
No. Like it's cool. I'm kind of feeling this video's at its end anyway.
Well, I had one more point I wanted to make about sneezing.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I believe in letting things out in life, and like if you have to sneeze, sneeze. And like I have a friend who grew up, and like she was taught by her mom, which I'm not saying this is like horrible, but she was taught by her mom, like, you always suppress farts, like when you're with company. And like, I'm not saying that it's okay to.
It sounded like it. It
like,
totally sounded like you were saying it was cool.
I'm not saying you should just let them rip in front of everybody, but I also don't think it's healthy that we like suppress so many things about like what's naturally going on within us, like.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like if like your natural self, and like it's kind of along the subject of like wearing so much makeup that you never look like yourself, and people never see what you really look like, and dyeing your hair so much and getting so much plastic surgery that you don't really, like, who knows what you really look like anymore. Which I'm also not bashing on those people or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I really believe in natural concepts, and like if you have natural functions happening, I don't think it's like the greatest thing. I just thought this would be like a funny thing to talk about. I don't know. You didn't have any kind of going.
I thought it was funny. I was sitting here going, what? And then you kept on going, and I was like, okay.
And then like I dated this guy like in college who like would like fart out loud a lot, because there's a difference between silent farts that you let in front of people, because like she wouldn't even like let silent farts in front of people in case they smelled anything.
Right.
and that's probably polite, but at the same time I'm like, is that good for you? I don't know.
I don't
Like-
think it is.
But then I dated a guy who would let out loud farts, and then I got in the habit of it. And then I would go home, and I would do it in front of my family, and they were so weirded out with it at first. Like, ew, like, gross, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then, like, they just kind of got used to it, and it became funny. Because when you're little, it's always funny. Like, you always do it, and then it's always funny. But then there comes a
Right.
point where it just becomes, like, not at all normal. And then, like, it was just like this funny random thing to like bring it back into our like family consciousness again.
Right. Well, I think my arm has hit its limit.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what do you think about farting?
What do I think about farting?
Yeah.
I think it's a natural bodily function
I
that
mean, you have
everyone
a twin
goes
brother. Don't you guys like have jokes about that?
through. And like share
Isn't
farts.
that a guy thing?
No, I don't know.
Like, really, you don't have that? I think a lot of guys have that are adults.
no. Me and my guy friends
He's
never really
genteel.
talk about it.
What?
Me and my guy friends never really talk about it. And then
Yeah,
when
but-
someone else does, I'm just like, okay.
Oh,
cool.
you do talk about it, or you don't talk
We
about
don't.
it? And you don't joke, like, you don't joke about it. You don't, like, fart in front of each other and laugh.
No.
Okay.
That's weird for me anyway. Like some people are
Oh.
like that, but I'm so not like that. But
Oh,
if someone
interesting.
does let her rip and they crack right up at it, I laugh because I'm sitting there going, they're so happy from the flatulence that they just exerted. Like why? Why would that? I don't see why I would see that funny. But it's
But you're
funny
happy
that
for
they.
them?
Yeah, it's funny that
Okay.
they see it funny. So I just start laughing and they're like. They're sitting there going, the fart was funny, and I'm going, no, you're funny because you thought it was funny. So like, it's just
Ah.
kind of like a psychological thing
So
that
you
I
don't-
find funny.
You don't think farts are intrinsically funny?
No, I just kind of think they're there.
They're just like, it's just like sneezing. It's not like, why would sneezing be funny? It's just a bodily function.
Right, exactly. It's just
Yeah.
like saying sleeping is funny. Like
Why are farts funny to some people?
the sound it makes, I guess, and the fact that it's about to cause someone like.
Why is the sound it makes any more funny than like a sneeze? They're just two different. If you think about it, they're just two different. They're just different.
That's a very
Why
good
is
question.
one funny and why is one not funny?
I don't know. I don't. I don't know.
Probably, obviously, because one is associated with like,
Bad smells and someone's gonna
yeah, waste and like awkward stuff that people don't want to think about. But
be like, right. Yeah, I
something
got
for you
nothing.
guys to ponder between this video and next video. Anything else?
Not that I can think
right.
of. That's gonna be
All right,
funny.
signing off.
Sign off.
Let that hair flow.